Reverb Experiment episode number 45.
Ooh, 4-5.
4-5. We want to welcome all the new listeners, all the new subscribers. We know we got a lot from the last episode. Shout out to Stas.
Yeah.
Before we get too deep into the episode, man, I want to give our love, our support. Today is the death anniversary of DMX. It does not seem like it's a year, but it has been a year. So we want to give him our love, support, and man, it's like losing legends left and right, man. But it's been a year.
Let's get it on.
So we want to give DMX, man, a shout out. We want to give everybody a shout out. First, we want to introduce who's on the pod today. It is G_Focus. We got Steph.net the Queen.
What's good?
Then we got Photo B the King.
Good morning.
And, you know, it's getting a little hotter outside. People starting to be outside a little bit more. So we want to shout y'all out, too.
Man.
For those that are listening at work, we want to shout y'all out, too. Because, you know, people be talking about the pod is long, but we just trying to make sure that y'all get through your work day, man.
Look,
You know what I'm saying?
Look, speaking of summer, I don't know about y'all, but I'm about to be out here with some short shorts and high socks all summer. I'm showing off knees, calves, all of that.
Did John Stockton shorts?
Man, I'm telling you, with a t-shirt.
Show off the guys.
I'm finna.
As long as them quads is on point.
Exactly.
Don't
That's
be
what-
skipping leg
Don't-
day to have your legs out.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I've been hitting my legs. I've been actually really been happy about it. I get off work on my legs and I'm walking around confident. All right. Y'all if y'all watch my Instagram, y'all be seeing me in the stories. I've been going to the gym on a daily basis, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
I take a picture of a boomerang in the mirror as a daily progress. See them knees.
Boomerang. I want to see the work.
All right.
I don't want to see the boomerang.
Hey, you'll see the progress.
Okay.
All right. You'll see
Okay.
that the final.
You been
product.
slimming down. I'll give you that.
I'm trying to get like y'all. You feel me? I'm trying to get like y'all.
You know, I've been in the gym, too. You know what I'm saying? Trying to take care of what's need to get taken care of. You know what I'm saying?
Take
You
care
know?
of your body.
Take
With his
care
Bel
of
Air
your body.
jersey.
Oh, yeah. You know I got to rep my man Will Smith. You already know. Well, hey, this episode so lit. We already got a title episode. You know what I'm saying? Black Table Talk Part 2. Welcome to the Black Table.
Welcome to the black table.
Welcome to the kitchen table.
To the
To the kitchen.
Welcome to the kitchen table.
Hey, that was hella funny. D.L.
Yeah.
Hughley had me screaming. You seen that clip?
I did not.
He was like, talking about Jada. He was like, she wouldn't be putting my business out here talking about black table. No, you better take that shit to the kitchen table. I was screaming.
You know, we'll talk about it. We'll get there.
we're
We'll
gonna
get
talk
there.
about
We're gonna talk about
get
it.
there.
Let's tell the audience what we're talking about today. So obviously, you can tell by the shirt. We're talking about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett.
Mm-hmm.
We will also talk about
Tell them the shirt that you wear for the people who are just listening. What you wearing? What you wearing? The people
Oh, for
who
the
just
people. I'm
listen.
sorry. I am rocking the Bel Air
Academy.
Will Smith number 14. You know, if you watch the new Bel Air or the new Bel Air.
Bel Air.
Yeah, it is Bel
Bel
Air.
Air.
I was gonna call it Fresh Prince, but excuse me.
It's just Bel
I
Air.
think that they wear similar jerseys. They're a little updated.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
You know what I mean? I'm out to cop that too. You know what I'm saying? and look, for those that are hating on the new Bel Air, y'all tripping.
It's good.
Y'all tripping. It is a drama. It is not supposed to be the same. It is going to be different. And I like that the actor is actually from Philly.
I didn't know
And they
that.
incorporated, like, the first episode, I know I'm behind, but they incorporated, there was Freeway, there was hella Philly niggas up in the damn first, so they was bringing Philly into it, so I ain't mad at it.
Okay.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
I still need to finish it, though. I think I got like 2 more episodes. but
Yeah.
Watch that.
I'm
All right.
behind.
I ain't started it yet.
I put it up because
I
I
ain't
don't like
started
getting on the hype. I want to let things die down and then me kind of come to my own conclusion.
No, I like to watch it first before I hear what other people are saying. Like, all them think pieces would have messed it up for me if I hadn't already watched it for myself.
You know, that's a valid point because there's a
know?
lot. I mean, people will immediately put some shit out
Yeah.
within like the next 2 days.
I'm
Like
bro,
Squid
it
Games.
just played an hour ago. You already got 2
Facts.
paragraphs on Facebook.
How you got 3,000 memes of a show that came out last weekend
Like,
and
what?
everybody talking about it.
And then
Like,
you go into it kind of like with that in your mind, like
Yeah,
the negative
yeah,
things
yeah.
people already said.
right,
See, I don't
So,
give a damn
yeah.
what people be saying.
right. How you
It
going?
be
I
affecting
don't
me.
give a
I can't
damn.
lie.
You gotta like people, and that's. I mean, I think that's what they want you to do because like look at Squid Games. Squid Game came out and it was out for a minute before everybody started talking about it. But as soon as people started getting on it, they were talking about it. They were putting out all these memes and hey, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
don't
was like
that
damn.
either. I don't like the spoiler
Damn.
alerts.
The thing that I've noticed is people just rush to be first.
That's
Facts.
Like when there's a big album that drops, like when the Drake album drop, when Kendrick will drop eventually sometime, I guarantee you it'll drop at 12 o'clock. By 12:01, you'll have a review of the album.
Yeah.
Niggas didn't even listen to the album and then, oh my God, this is the greatest album ever.
How you do an album speed run?
I'm like, bro. Like, you got to at least give it 2 weeks to let it settle in a little bit. Like, nigga, like, you got to listen to it at least 2 or 3. But we just live in that instant gratification. I got to be first. I want to just have the hottest take ever, and they just put it out.
That's the part that you hit the nail on the head, the hottest take ever. Because sometimes I feel like even people's negative reviews aren't sometimes genuine, because I feel like they just want to say the most off-the-wall shit to get a reaction. You know what I mean?
I would agree.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Did you really not like it, or are you just trying to
give you are trying to go viral? That's really what it is.
Yeah.
And they know that the loudest voice in the room usually gets the most attention first. And just our society, we don't care who's right. We just care who's first.
Yeah.
And it sucks. But that's just how it is. So, yeah. Anyway, go check it out for yourself. I liked what I saw so far. I will continually watch it and see what's going on. And then we're also going to talk about, which we're going to start off with this. Unfortunately, we have to talk about this. We don't want to talk about it. We wish we never had to talk about it, but we are. Just for one, because it hits close to home. And for two, it does tie into Black culture, unfortunately.
It's home. It's not just close to home. It's home.
It's here.
Yeah, I know. But what... I mean,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. No, it hits home. You're absolutely
it's
right.
It's home.
We're going to talk about what's being labeled as a Sacramento Mass Shooting that happened in downtown off of K and 10th, April 3rd in the wee morning hours. I want to say it was 1 a.m., 2 a.m., somewhere around there, where 6 people were shot dead, 12 people were injured, and more were traumatized. So if you have been sitting under a rock, or if you haven't been paying attention to anything that's been going on in the news, then you probably have not heard about this. But it has definitely affected a lot of people and have made national news. And for Sacramento, that is the last thing that we want to make national news for, is for something like this. So before we do that, we want to give respect to the victims. We got Jonta Alexander, who was 21. We have Melinda Davis, who was 57. We have Sergio Harris, which is 38. We have Joshua Hoy Lucchesi, which is 32. We have Yamil Martinez Antrande. If I'm butchering the names, excuse me, I don't mean to. She was 21. And then we have Devazia Turner, which was 29. So all younger people. I mean, even 57 is still considered young.
Yeah.
I don't care.
So all of those people have lost their lives, whether they were involved or not. And again, we're not here to report. Everything is alleged until all the facts come out. And we just want to at least give respect to the people that have lost their lives. And again, for the people that were traumatized who were there, because I cannot imagine. I saw videos where you saw people were in the streets,
running, and
paramedics, EMTs are trying to revive people. There was blood. There was glass shattered. The video itself sounded like it was a war zone.
It was over 100 shots.
Yeah,
over 100 shots.
It was 100
or
shell
they
casings.
they were able to retrieve over 100 shell casings. So we don't even know how many shots were actually fired, but that's how much they were able to somewhat verify. So facts about the case. The guns that were used were converted from Glocks to automatics, which were basically machine gun-like. They were able to do this by inserting what they call a switch, which takes about 15 minutes to install. Obviously, they are illegal, but they, some of them you can get pretty easily on the actual internet. So the way that, for the people that are listening, the way that they were able to shoot so many rounds is because they converted these Glocks over into automatic guns. And yeah, it's if you have the stomach for it, watch the videos. You will hear the multiple shots going off and off and off and off, and people screaming and people running and ducking and hiding. It was very confusing at the beginning because people were posting videos of fights that were happening outside, and the videos that they posted had nothing to do with what actually happened. Nothing to do with it. It just simultaneously there were also fights going on outside of the Sacramento clubs. If you have not been to Sacramento, K Street is probably one of the busiest streets 100%. In downtown Sacramento, where there's a lot of bars and clubs where a lot of people mingle after partying or getting something to eat or going to a bar, or I mean, it's only a couple blocks away from the NBA arena, from the
Golden One Center.
Golden One Center. Excuse me.
They need to desaturate K Street. Like everything's on K Street.
I don't think they are.
They like here's the problem, right? Every time we go out, it's K Street. If not K Street, we're going down to over there off of 28th and J, based from like Blue Q all the way to Momo's. Where else we going? Where else are we going? K-Street. Where else is anybody going?
Sometimes the park, but I mean that's.
But it's still like
top 40, but it's still in the same. I mean, downtown.
At the end of the day, it just shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't.
No.
Like
it shouldn't.
There should be able to be a street that got multiple bars on it that people can go to, and because it makes sense. Because you go from one place to the next to the next.
Yeah.
You know, it's not necessarily like, oh, we got to go here. Well, let's go to the next place all the way clear.
Yeah.
You know, so it makes sense. It's just
It was just unfortunate.
Exactly.
And we're not going to report again on what happened. We have a pretty good idea of what happened just because, you know, there have been other independent YouTubers, media that have reported on it way better than how we can. It was definitely some street shit.
It was gang violence.
Yeah. I mean, the
Plain
cops
and
won't
simple.
come out and say it because they can't say it with a definitive nature. But when they were asking for public's help, people were already reporting that it was some street shit.
Yeah.
So we know it was some street shit, and the streets talk before the cops talk. So it just so happened that it was two groups that were in the wrong place at the wrong time and knew that obviously if they're in the same place at the wrong time that things may happen. And they went down there and, you know,
Prepared.
expecting that there may be an opportunity for there may be some ops or whatever like that. The thing that I'm kind of thing that I don't understand is when I was younger, and again, I've already told y'all this on the pod, and I'm not gonna act like I'm a street nigga because I'm not a street nigga, but I know street niggas. And number one rule was don't party in your own city. For street niggas, they always would go out of town to go party because cases like this could happen. Streets is too small, city's too small, and especially in Sacramento, there's only, like you said, there's only a few places for you to go party.
Especially us.
Yeah.
Especially the kind of music that we listen to.
Yeah.
There's not.
If you want to go to a hip hop club, you probably got 2-3 options. So
Yeah,
you probably gonna run into your ops.
You got London, right?
Blue Q,
and somewhere else outside of downtown.
maybe Momo's.
Momo's used to be. I don't know.
Momo's used to, but Momo's is more.
You got to catch it on
showy.
the right night.
Yeah. It's not one. It's not one of those. Oh, we finna pull up to Momo's. Momo's has to have a kind of an event. You know what I mean? For them to do something now, but like Momo's and Harlow's ain't what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If
But
it
again,
is, but ain't
like
what
you
I'm talking about.
said, it's only a few options, so the probability
Bar
of
West.
you running into your ops is pretty high. So
Pretty
of
high.
course, I mean, obviously you know that if you showed up with automatic weapons.
Well, so what I'm assuming is I don't think they just showed up to the club.
Well, they had them there somehow.
Yeah, but I think what Photo B is saying is that they might have had him in the car.
They had them in the
that's
car.
what I
That's what
mean.
I'm saying. They didn't.
In
But
case.
you brought them
Yes.
because you knew that it was a possibility.
Well, yeah. It's
You didn't
always
bring them in the club, but you had them with you.
right.
You know how that is.
Yeah.
Don't get caught lacking. So you're gonna keep it with you wherever you go.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously you brought it with the intention that there may be some type of funk. And there obviously was, and it ended up costing other people's lives that had nothing to do with it. So
It's disheartening, especially because outside is reopening, and that's just not the way you want to start off. You know what I mean? With people finally being comfortable with
going out
again.
and having fun, plus it's getting warmer. So my question is, I think let's just start on a human level. Where were you at when you heard the news?
I was at home.
I was in a hotel bed in the morning when I found out.
My God.
I got a phone call from my ex, and she was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "What? Why are you asking?" And then she sent me the link. So
you're trying to check and see.
she was making sure I was good because she heard about it before I did.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I was up at the time, but I wasn't looking at my phone.
You didn't register. Yeah.
I was kicking it, but again, for the most part, me and my friends and family, we kick it at home. Like, we having house parties with us, people
Right.
we know, like where we don't have to really worry about that. So
Yeah.
I know a lot of people's like, oh, well, I know you was kicking it. We was at home, baby.
Right.
We was not downtown or none of that. Not saying that I don't, but I don't.
I almost ended up downtown. When my boys hit me up earlier that day talking about the Tyler the Creator concert, he was like, "I got an extra ticket. You want to go?"
Right.
I never been to a concert, right? So I was considering going, but I was like, I don't feel like it. I don't want to do a concert last minute. I didn't prepare myself mentally for all this crowd and all that. I'm like, you know what? No. And knowing me, I would have stayed out. I would have been out. I would have ended up downtown. I would have ended up in that area.
You probably went to K Street, like you said.
I would have went
That's
to
where
K
everybody was
Street.
at.
But me, I like to go home early, so I probably would have been gone by then. Unless like
'Cause
I
I
met
was
somebody in the
pretty
vibe.
late.
It was after the club showed up. It was like 1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that's
This was
pretty late.
around
And that's
the time everything was
typical
calmed
time
down.
that we get out. I mean, for those that are listening, because I know different cities and different areas have different club hours.
Yeah.
Like I know down south, nigga, you in the club till 5 in the morning.
Man,
Right.
and they got after hour spots.
We don't got no
all
after-hour
kind of
spots.
stuff. We ain't got no after. Shoot.
We get out at 1:30 promptly.
And everything is
Some
closed.
two.
You barely
do
Some are
two.
two.
Some are two.
You
but
barely could
1:30
get some
is usually-
food. Everything be closed.
That's
But
right.
like
Yeah.
when you go like down south, shit be
go-
open.
Right.
Chicken spot, all
Well, we
Yeah.
got Mel's, Denny's.
Denny's. Either you going to
Taco
Denny's or you
Bell.
go home.
Yeah, like it used to. And see, and for me, and for me, I haven't been outside for a minute. So
You
my
ain't
whole
got to.
no, I know, but I'm saying my whole club landscape is different. Like we used to go to Pizza Rock, like that got shut down. You know what I
forgot
mean?
about
Like, and
Pizza
that was right
Rock.
on K Street. That was,
was
right
right
there.
there.
So it was like it was clutch. But
And Pizza Rock didn't come back because these damn these street meat vendors out here getting crazy talking about these damn hot dogs $8.
Hey, but they be
That's
smacking.
inflation.
They
though.
be smacking, but $8?
hey, it is supply.
That's a
and
whole
demand.
hot dog bag.
I know the ones in Oakland. They be all the onions.
It is
look,
supply and demand.
supply and
You
demand. They
drunk
know what's
and
up.
they got the food.
They used to be $3-4 and shit. It's like, oh, ain't nobody else on this block.
Yeah, we about to
Like
charge
what
you.
you, what you
got
gonna
an
say?
Give me 2. Y'all take Venmo? I be asking.
Now
like,
we
hey,
just talking about the club culture, but
No,
but
for
as far
real.
as the violence though, I've been seeing like, and we're gonna talk about the Will Smith stuff later. And this is the one instance where I think respectability politics plays the reverse. Where, and I'm gonna be honest with you, and I know a lot of black people do this. I do it, and I probably need to stop doing it, but I do it. When there's a crime, for some reason, the first thing that comes to mind is what race was he?
That's fact.
And the only reason why we ask that is because we need to see how we gonna get treated after that.
That's fact.
And as soon as I saw who it was, and I know you guys got the names of the gentlemen or whatever, the people that were arrested. We're gonna go over that in a minute. I saw their pictures. I was like, oh shit.
Right.
I said, here we go.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna preface this because I've been clubbing in Sacramento for a long time, and black people or darker skinned people or brown people, however you want to label it, we have always been mistreated when it comes to the club scene. And we have never been treated equally.
You can tell by the dress codes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and everybody that's black in Sacramento has a story of not being able to get into a club because of a bullshit dress code violation or whatever.
I'm saying.
So I'm already knowing that based on that alone, going forward, if you are trying to go clubbing or partying or just having a good time in Sacramento, you will be profiled. And if you have dreads or any kind of long hair, you probably are not going to be able to get in.
Look at
Just based on the fact that no club wants to have something like this on their record or something like this on just the fear of that happening. And I'm pretty sure other cities are the same way, but there was a saying, and this OG used to tell me, he said, you can tell when a club is about to shut down when they start playing hip hop. He said, because that means that they're desperate for people to come. And as soon as they start playing hip hop, then that venue either gets shut down or their liquor license gets taken away.
No, that's a fact.
And when I started realizing, I was like, man, I started looking at it, and sure enough, Avalon shut down. Dream or Sunsplash shut down. Zoku shut down. That club that was off of
Polaris.
Howell, Trey, shut down.
Oh no, Trey got shot.
That's what I'm saying.
Trey got shot. I was there that night. That was
Yeah.
the last night. That was the first time I was there. And the last
Shut
time.
down. Zoku, like you said, shut. So all of these clubs that play our music, that bring that element, end up getting shut down. So I know we talk about that we should not let one person be the spokesperson for how we act, unfortunately, when it comes to money, it does happen like that. And we do get judged differently based when something like this does happen, because we already have this element of we have a higher, the perception is that black men are higher or more aggressive or have a higher probability to violence. So when you see a black man, 3 black men get arrested for something like this, then it puts the city on notice. So it's not fair, but I get it. And it shouldn't be like that, but I get it. Because as a club owner, your job is to make money.
But at the end of the day, can you really blame it on the club? Because it happened after, outside. It wasn't necessarily like they didn't get inside with it. They didn't, you know what I mean? Like, maybe, do we know exactly which club they was coming from? But at the end of the day,
they were coming from Club London.
Supposed to do, and you left.
They were coming from Club London, and supposedly there was an altercation that happened within the club that spilled out. Supposedly, allegedly.
The one of that we seen right in the videos right before, that was outside of K Cantina or whatever is right on that, whatever that is on K and 10th. Because I used to work on that corner.
That was the Mexicans that were fighting,
right underneath Social on that side. So that party right there was from that area, not from London. So a whole completely different
video, different circumstances,
spot. It just happened to be, because I watched the video, I know where it's at. When it comes to the clubs being blamed, it's not their fault. Right? Because you can be like, all right, I'm having this event, you come, all right, cool, enjoy, bye. And then something else happens after that. It's not their fault. It should not be. Right? Now, when it comes to the fact that there's very little places for us to go, of course, we're going to, if we want to go to a certain type of venue, when you want to be a certain type of vibe, you want to listen to a certain type of music, we're going to go there. So being as though we only have certain spots, all of us are going to go to the same spot.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we actually have more spots for us spread out. It might be a little bit different. In my opinion, it might be a little different. But if you start getting spots that are if you end up getting places that are oversaturated with the certain things because not too many people want to deal with us, you're going to end up, the people who are trying to deal with us are going to end up dealing with us. You know what I mean?
No. That's why I just don't go out.
Sacramento don't like us.
It's tough. Like, if I were gonna go out, I know there is a company that does like more older, mature events. I think it's Old School ENT or Old something ENT, something like that, where they do more like 30 and up R&B, old school music. I know there's an event that's like R&B only, where they have events that is only R&B. So if I am gonna go out, I lean more to that, because I'm not dealing with, some of the other stuff that comes with it.
I think used to do that.
Yeah.
The R&B nights, I used to go to that. That's different.
But I remember going to, what was that club that was in Folsom?
Powerhouse?
Man. Oh, my God.
I didn't club in Sac, so I'm just sitting here like,
it is a
I'm just looking
bad
at y'all.
combination when you got bad women, alcohol, and niggas all in the same building. It is a bad combination. But it was rocking.
It was raw, 100%.
Going to is Empire, and I don't know, it was one other place I remember going to. I didn't club. I ain't never been to Avalon.
But you were out. You weren't.
I moved out of state. Yeah. So I never really clubbed in Sac. And then when I would like go out, I would try to go to like the Bay or something like that. Yeah. Because I ain't want to be in. You know how it is. Like, I don't want to go out Sac, see these same niggas.
But I'm just giving y'all fair warning. If you come to Sacramento, you better come suited and booted. Yeah. If you're trying to go party, and if you don't get in, it's don't argue. You just need to know that the element of what's going on right now, and especially with the summer coming up, that there may be retaliation. It's going to get hot, and you are going to see elevated police presence for sure.
100%.
And you are definitely going to see elevated security presence for sure.
100%.
They're not going to tolerate any of the BS. If they see any arguments, they're probably going to talk you out. They're probably going to take you outside. Like, they're not taking no chance. I'm just telling you, because there's too much money downtown. Before we get on to the rest of the podcast, I wanted to ask this question, because I know one of the guys that was arrested, and you guys got to give us the name. I think it was Smiley Martin.
So it was Smiley Martin. It was 2 brothers, Smiley Martin and then his brother DeAndre Martin. And then there was a Davion Dawson. But they believe that he was not connected to the shooting, that he was just caught he was in possession of a firearm that he wasn't supposed to have on the aftermath. So let's separate him from it.
because we don't know what's going on. But
Right.
as far as Smiley Martin and
Smiley Martin got shot and he's in the hospital.
right, but I want to ask. So Smiley Martin was released early on a 10-year bid that he was supposed to do. So I just want to ask this question because this does relate to Black culture. We always have the free Wayne or the free such and such T-shirts. We always have the he needs to get out early. All this other stuff, hold him down, etc., 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 or it's like a badge of honor for you to go to prison. I just want to ask, as we get older, should we revisit that trope or mantra or however you want to put it as far as prison culture and as far as pushing for people to get released early, especially when like somebody like Smiley Martin has a lengthy violent history, and we hate the DA, but we got to be honest, the DA was right on this one, where she basically said if you release him early, he has a low regard for life, and he's probably going to basically, I'm just paraphrasing, is going to do something violent again. Because I think, and I don't even want to go down his history, but if you look it up, he has a history of violence. And we all know that the prison system is not there to rehabilitate anybody. So that's a whole nother conversation for a different day. I think that the prison system definitely needs to be revamped and all that. But the question is do we need to revisit how we look at prison culture and the always pushing for people to come home early?
When it comes to pushing people to come home early, we can't do shit. The whole free Pookie, free them, and this and that on the shirts and the posts. The DAs ain't looking like that. Like, all right, well, they want them free. We'll go ahead and make something happen. No, that don't work. It don't work. So it's not like it's going to change. It's not like it's going to change anything. So it's.
But I think that whole idea with the whole free so and so, I think what it does is it kind of
gives them support.
Does it glamorize it?
I wouldn't say glamorize it, but it kind of just takes the attention off the fact of what they did and the fact that most of the time that nigga did it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think we kind of forget that part and be like, free so and so. Okay, but he killed 2 people. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, how you just gonna slide over that? And you know what I mean? Like, I know that's your family, whatever, but I think we are in a place where people are afraid to condemn people when they're wrong. They wrong. And you got to make sure that they know that they wrong. And you got to make sure that the people around them and the people coming up behind them know that they were wrong. And if you're not acknowledging that, then it just continues the cycle of it being okay and it just being a part of street culture. Like, if you condemn street culture, like, people come for your neck.
Oh, for sure.
Like, and I'm like, are we acting, well, no, it's not right, but it ain't. I get, like, I don't understand that. Like, why do we sit up here crying, oh my God, I can't believe this, but we continue to perpetuate and glamorize and turn a blind eye to street culture and the bullshit that really puts in on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get that part of it. And I'm not gonna act like shit is okay. Like, I could have empathy and understand how people end up in street culture, how people end up in the hood or in gangs. I understand that part of it. But I don't have to sit up here and be like, oh, it's right. You know. You don't
have to condone it.
I don't have to condone it.
Yeah.
When people is getting killed.
And I think, because we talked about this before, just how it affects the community.
Yeah.
How many families and people will be affected because y'all have funk over something that may or may not be that serious, and just because y'all was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And this will ripple throughout. And the thing that I don't like too, I'm already seeing the politic train going. I've already seen the mayor already tweet about it. You can already see that they're going to use this. See, and this is the thing that I don't think that Black people think through. I try to think things through thoroughly. They're going to use this to be able to get more funding to militarize the police that they already have. I don't know if niggas know this. Sac PD already got a tank. So what do you think they're going to ask for after this? Because you have automatic weapons now that's on the street. They're going to use that and goes like, well, hey, so we need better weapons. We need more manpower. So y'all was marching and saying defund the police. And now what's going to happen is them niggas going to get funded up. I'm telling you right now.
It's dumb because it's like, okay, you guys want to go ahead and fund them, but they weren't there. So it's not like they were fighting them and they lost. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter.
I know, but what I'm saying is, it's like
you said they said they're gonna need more police presence downtown. You're gonna see more police presence downtown, but you think they coming empty-handed?
Nope.
They ain't bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So like that's true. And I don't know. I just think that whole, free so and so, whatever. I think that needs to be more so reserved for the people that receive unfair. We understand the unfair sentencing and all that kind of stuff, but when you talk about violent crimes,
yeah, and this episode we're gonna go in and let's stop this could have been prevented. First of all, the only way for you to prevent something like this is if you have early intervention, which is programs, better schools, better mentors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There is no way you can prevent somebody from getting an illegal gun and an illegal switch and coming down and shooting up people if they want to. That whole gun control shit, and that's going to be another narrative, especially because it happened at the Capitol. There's no gun control law that you can do to stop what happened.
yeah.
It's not like them niggas went and bought a gun and registered their name under the gun and then came down and shot up people. No, they found a stolen gun at the scene, and the guns that they had were altered illegally. So what kind of gun control are you going to do to be able to fix that? You're not. So that agenda, y'all need to stop that. Just stop. If you are really dedicated to change, then you need to start talking to these kids and getting some early intervention programs in place. And I'm gonna give them a shout out, like Sac Connect. Get them in some of these schools. The people that are on the ground that are doing the work. Let's get them in place so that way we can start getting these kids some value to their life. Because somebody that does something like that has no value.
Well, that's what the DA said. Low regard for life.
Yeah.
And that don't just happen.
No.
Overnight.
Happens over years. And I don't know them. I don't want to act like I know what's going on, but typically, it's like you said, it's because you have a low regard for life. And where does that start? Starts in the home, starts in your community, starts with some of the people you got. And I'm not trying to blame, I'm not trying to put the blame on anybody. I'm just saying that if you're going to put money into something, let's put it into programs that actually work.
Facts.
Let's give more people like Sac Connect or some of these other organizations that are run by Black people that know our culture how to maybe get into some of these homes and helps. And there's just too many nonprofit organizations that are run by our people that could use the funding, that could do hell of a lot better than what city of Sacramento is doing. I'm just sorry.
It's going to take a lot because there's only a certain amount of influence that somebody can give around certain areas, because sometimes they are just surrounded by the wrong influence, and the heavier influence, the bigger influence is going to win. It's going to win, and there's only so much you can do about it, because there are programs, there's hella programs, there's hella opportunities for things to work out. The whole Boys and Girls Club was damn near was one of them and shit. Look how that's working. So it's not just about the resources being there. It's like it's got to be a whole rewiring of the system.
Yeah, I know. My husband says that a lot when a lot of the kids he work with. He's like, I try to be a good influence. It's like, but a lot of the time I only see them 2-3 hours a week.
Yeah.
Versus all of the other time and all of the other influence too. So I mean, I get that part of it too.
Yeah, there is absolutely two sides to it. I just if you can help save one kid, I think it's worth it.
It's worth it to keep doing it.
We need to, as a community, that money, whatever money that they about to start to lobby for, needs to not go to the police.
Yes, it's hard
because once a crime is committed, the crime is committed. So if you're putting any money towards law enforcement, to me, that is not intervention. That is not prevention. That is reaction. And by that time, it's too late. It's already done. Let's start getting on the front end of some of this stuff and trying to, prevent crime, like trying to study the reasons why crimes are committed. And again, I know there's people that are out there that do that work. It's just we got to get to them.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting couple months for our city, for sure. And I just, again, pray for the victims. I pray for those that were traumatized, that saw it, that were there. Pray for the families that were affected. And we just, it sounds so cliche, but we just pray that there's a period of healing, and that the summer doesn't get hotter. But I mean, typically during the summer, things start escalating. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's hot, people irritated. With what's going on with the money, with the gas prices, the inflation, jobs. We're still in a pandemic. I know people acting like that we're not, but we still are in a pandemic, yep. Which there could be a spike at any moment. So, I mean, there's just a lot of elements that are kind of all coming together that are just not good. Like, and I was even talking to somebody this before, like, even think about what happened, and I'm trying to even think about the timeline, like George Floyd and like the whole like social injustice and like Breonna Taylor. Did that happen before the pandemic, or that was during the pandemic?
That was during.
Damn.
So it's like, I'm saying, like, you're mixing in all these ill feelings, and then you're going outside, and then you expecting people to just behave. Nah.
I do. I expect them to behave.
I know we expect it, but it's not reality.
I ain't changing my expectation.
I know, but I think
me. I don't give a damn.
I know, but when I go outside, you better keep your head on the swivel.
100%. 100%. There's going to be, as I was looking forward to Algorithm Day Party coming back, but the way it's looking, might not. It's going to. It's just. It's going to be interesting because even Blue Q changed their rules up with shit.
I haven't been in hell long, so I don't know.
No, Blue Q's, they said that we're not playing hip hop anymore. We are playing old school. We're playing R&B. We're playing country.
Oh, okay.
See, and then even that, like, and again, I don't want to have this. I don't want to prolong this conversation. But as I get older, I'm grappling with my music choices, and I'm like, some of the music I'm listening to, am I condoning the behavior that I'm saying is toxic to our community, like the trap music, the drug dealing music, the drill music? Like, I like it, sure. I grew up on some of it, sure. But it's like, is this music beneficial? And you can separate, I think, and please listen to me. You can separate the difference between somebody maybe reflecting on their experiences and somebody condoning and pushing the behavior, right? Because we know some of the artists that push it. And it's like, that's why I kind of have some of the issues with the drill music. And it's kind of starting to spill over into, now there's, more different races and trying to emulate it. And it's like, you don't know. Like 6ix9ine is a perfect example. Perfect example. I don't know if you want to call this music drill music. I think he's right on the cusp of it. But you got people that are not in that culture or not a part of doing that, but then making music that promotes the behavior that does not affect him specifically. It affects the people that are listening to it, and then he has no connection to any of the ramifications that come from the music that he's playing. But then when the shit started hitting the fan and some real street shit started happening, then this nigga folded.
Yep.
Then he came out and said, I was never a blood. And then he said, I was initiated by the people that were managing me. It's like, nigga, that's not what you were saying, though. That's not what you were saying. That's not what you was pushing. That's not what you were promoting. That's not what you were saying in your raps. And you wanted us to believe that you was about that action. And you was trolling niggas. You was trolling Nipsey. You was trolling Vaughn, all this other shit. And then come to find out, nigga, you wasn't about that action. So a lot of the music is coming from actors. But then some of these kids are listening to it thinking that shit's real.
That's facts.
So it's like, and when I'm listening to this music, what am I supporting with my time and my money?
Not even just my time and my money, but just my energy, because that's what you do. Like, whether we want to believe it or not, like, when we're listening to that music, like,
it does change your energy.
Come on now.
They
You're
say
taking
don't,
that in.
Yeah, they say don't listen to like hip hop or rap before 11, 12 o'clock. You have a great day. If you listen to R&B or something smooth in the morning and all that, your energy is just completely different the rest of the day.
Well, yeah, niggas talk. I think Kanye, and even though we kill Kanye, he has a clip talking about the different chakras and how the 808 is supposed to change and all that. Like, there's studies for that. So we know that there's some truth to it. I mean, just like if you listen to a gospel song, the reason why the sounds and the things that they put in there are to uplift you, right? Or if you listen to like you said, like more of a relaxing what's it called, lo-fi or something like that. Or, then it's supposed to help you relax and kind of be more, you're supposed to listen to that while you're at work, or jazz or whatever. So we know different musics change your mood. Like when you go to work out, nigga, you putting on a DMX or a Tupac or something like that because you trying to uplift the thing. So
shit, I'm still listening to R&B while I'm working out. What you mean?
Me too. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I mean, you know what? I listen to more so like club songs, not necessarily like trap music anymore. I listen to more.
Well, I mean, something that has an upbeat tempo to it,
like Poke It Out and shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like I really am getting very specific about what I consume now. It's kind of hard because I mean, we like what we like, but I know with me and trying to work on like my mental health, my peace, all that, like you have to take all that stuff into consideration as well too. So it's hard
because I mean, we got to be honest. And I had to come to grips with this. What our parents told us was true. Watch what you listening to, because you can. Man, I'm telling you, we all got to like when you want to get in the mood, like when you got a date or whatever, you put on Love Me, you put on R&B music, like, or you can listen to a song and the song can make you think about things that you wasn't thinking about before, or bring back old memory. You know what I mean? Like music does have that power. Some of us are more conscious of it. Like I know all of us here are pretty conscious about it. Like I can listen to a song and be conscious about what I'm listening to, but there's some people that don't, and it is subconscious. Like,
and that's the thing, like we can't control that part. So even if you feel like, oh, I know it's just music, it's just that, at the end of the day, it's still those incantations of what you listen to over and over and over. And if it's always violence, if it's always, you know what I mean, it's, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like when you really look at the science of how the brain works, you look at it differently.
Yeah. And we talked about that before. We talked about there was a conscious effort in the early 90s to push gangster rap. And there was a reason for that. It wasn't because like niggas don't got that kind of money to push that shit specifically. Again, and you see drill music is being pushed. It's being, I don't know. That's another conversation for a different podcast. But again, respect and love and wishes to the families that were affected. And just praying for our city. All right. I wish we could play some music so we can like uplift us now. I feel kind of down.
You feel me? Like damn.
Damn, I know. I feel kind of down right now. My
headphones on.
Anyway, so we're gonna so before we even get to that, I think I forgot it, but you guys already know what it is. Smash the like button, subscribe, all that stuff. You guys are watching enough YouTube videos. You guys know what
you know what to do.
You guys know what to do. All right, so we're going. So hopefully this next topic will get us back uplifted. So we're gonna do keeping it real. For those that do not know what keeping it real is, it is when we when we find a clip that we found very interesting that we want to react to, and that we want to that has been making its rounds on the internet. So on the Pivot podcast, I think his name is Crowder. What's his name?
Channing Crowder.
Oh boy,
Channing Crowder.
They was killing this nigga, man. Channing Crowder. I don't even know how the conversation came about, but they were talking about Russel Wilson and Ciara, and he made a comment by saying that Russel Wilson would not be able to get Ciara if he did not have money. And then he called him a square and a cornball. So we're going to watch the video, and then we're going to react, because this brought out a lot of reactions from the internet and people that were watching the clip. So give me a second to pull it up. And we're going to watch it and we're going to react. I know Steph got a lot to say on this one.
Look.
All right, let's go ahead and screencast this. I should already have this pulled up next time. We're gonna get this Keeping It Real segment going. Oh, I gotta get the TV ready. There we go.
Russell and Ciara. Yeah, if Russell ain't had that bread, Ciara ain't gonna be with him. Russell square. Russell Square.
Russell Square.
Sierra had she has a good situation, but you
in
don't leave Future and get with Russell Wilson.
The thing is,
I think that's what
you
you're
don't
wrong,
leave
though.
Future and get Russell
Women
Wilson. Like,
want
it's
peace.
a type. Listen,
Women
bro,
want
everybody got a
peace.
type.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody has a type. You gonna leave Future and get with Russell Wilson? He's so goddamn square, and I love him on the field. He's a square.
Channing.
He's a fucking square.
Channing, you go from this level of toxicity, you just want something stable. You want the guy that was sitting with that girl with that big old mouth at the draft that was laughing, and you knew she deserved to be with him.
Goofball?
Yeah, you want that guy.
You want to get with Goofball's husband.
You want the guy that told me, you know what? I was praying, and God told me to go save her. That's what the man told me to my face. But even with all...
All right, that was a Pivot Podcast. Shannon Crowder, Ryan Clark. I don't know who the other. I think it was Fred Taylor. Yeah, Fred Taylor. Commenting on Russell Wilson, quote unquote, saving Sierra. So we're gonna go ahead and keep it real.
Go ahead, Steph.
My thing is, if you look at bruh,
Which bruh?
Shannon
the nigga
Crowder.
who said it.
Shannon Crowder.
If you look at him, I guarantee whoever you with, your wife, whatever, she only with you for your money.
Damn.
I mean, so the audacity of that alone for me. And then the second thing was, why are you caping so hard for Future? You gonna leave Future. You gonna leave Future. Like, bro, if you want Future, go get him. Like,
Damn.
you going so hard like this nigga the cream of the crop. And then to say she got a type. Who did she date before that? 50, did she date 50 Cent?
I don't know.
Did she date Bow Wow? Tell me
Yeah.
how that aligns with a type of the Future type.
Yeah.
It really kind of don't, if you really want to talk about it. Because she was with Bow Wow for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where is this she got a type? Because she dated Future. Like, they literally collabed on a song
Yeah.
and started dating from there.
Yeah.
Make it make sense where she been out here seeking out Futures.
Fuck your life. Bing bang.
Okay. Steph spoke.
It's the math just ain't mathing, and I just couldn't see myself being this obsessed with somebody else's marriage.
You want me to go or do you want to go?
We've seen the trope. We've seen the trope for years. You know, I know when we seen that little meme where, you know, the nerd dude was trying to get an old girl and it's like, nah, and she going to go deal with the hood dude with his pants hanging off his ass, and he was square. I don't want you. And next, you know, she turned around. She got 2-3 kids. He ain't in the picture. The nerd dude ended up he got all, you know, he all suited and booted because, you know, he looked like he owned some shit. You know, it's like, oh nah, I don't want you no more. I don't want you. You a deadbeat. Right? That's the image. That's what they're trying to portray it as.
But how?
Because so beforehand,
Did Russell try to get at her before and she
Nope.
said no?
nope. But
Okay.
what they're
Not that we
saying,
know of.
what they're saying is that he was that person that none of the girls who wanted him would get that. Well, you know what?
Yeah,
None of the girls who he want
Would get with him.
would get with him.
And you're
because
not
he was a
and
nerd.
you're not saying, you're just giving the overall.
The overall.
I'm just trying to see
No,
how
I'm
it
saying
compares.
that. I'm saying for the audience because I know somebody going to try to kill
So
him in the
basically,
comments.
Russell used to be the type that probably wouldn't be able to get a Sierra. But why do dudes brag so much about when we get this, when we get that, it gives us access to a different type of woman, but then begrudge that type of woman they got access to
And
now?
Russell was married. So, like, again, and for those listening, Photo B is not saying that's not his thoughts. He's just saying that's what it's perceived
That's
as.
what's perceived.
that's what
as.
they
That's
trying to
what
put out there.
that's exactly
So,
what it's perceived
but
as.
I need you to keep it real on what your thoughts on the clip is. Or do you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go first. I'm
You
tired of these
ready for
niggas.
this?
I'm tired of these niggas. This is what it is. Y'all niggas hate single moms. That's all
That's
that it boils
it.
down to. And y'all niggas want single moms to suffer so bad that you do not want to see a single mom succeed in anything that she does. I'm gonna keep it real because that's what this damn segment is for. I have never seen niggas so damn hungry and thirsty to try to belittle or humble single mothers. That ain't got nothing to do with your ass. So we talk about uplifting the black community. We talk about We need to respect our queens and we need to respect our kings. But when niggas keep having babies with and creating the single mothers, y'all niggas don't say shit. But y'all niggas want to humble the single mother for getting her life together or finding somebody that supports her and gives her a secure home so that way they can raise children to be more positive. Y'all niggas want to side with Future when this nigga is the reason or part of the problem that we have in the fucking black community. I don't get where y'all coming from. I don't really get it.
Sense.
And the bottom line is this. We need to stop making corny or square synonymous with not being a man. You can be corny and be quote unquote a square and still be masculine. You can still be that. And if being square means you are providing a secure home for your family and doing the things and loving God, then shit. I guess sign me up.
I mean, like I said, we already said, if you condemn street culture, you a square.
Sign me up.
Like, if you not about all the bullshit,
sign me up.
Square as fuck.
I'm good.
The problem is that y'all don't live up to the standard and y'all want the bar to be lowered. So y'all hate niggas like Russel Wilson because it makes you look bad.
Yeah.
You want women to like niggas like you because then you ain't got to put too much effort. And if niggas want to call me a simp, call me a simp. We can talk about it. I already told any niggas, any one of y'all want to get on the podcast and debate or say whatever y'all got to say, then say it. But I'm tired of y'all niggas doing that shit.
You're not going to be liked.
Yeah.
You're not going to.
don't
No,
care.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the niggas who are talking about, who dog the cornball niggas, right? Because at a certain age, women don't give a fuck about about that shit. They want something. They want a Russel Wilson. Y'all just trying to make it last longer until the Russel Wilson is wanted.
Yeah.
Think about it. Because think about it, right? Around 25, 26 is when women start thinking, I'm tired
ready
of
to
these.
settle down.
Right. I'm tired of these niggas.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's the same shit that's going nowhere, and it's stressful and it's toxic and nothing's getting gained because nobody knows how to talk, nobody knows how to communicate, nobody knows how to be a man in a relationship. It ain't working. And all of a sudden it's like, you know what? I'm gonna try something different. And it works. It works almost every single time. It may be hard for them to get into it because it's the adjustment period. They're not used to this non-toxicness and shit. They're not used to the nice guy being actually nice, not for anything other than to be nice. Well, you know what I mean? Because they're usually used to being nice for a certain type of thing.
To get something.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they don't, a lot of times.
Be nice for a little bit.
Right. A lot of times they don't know how to see the difference because they're like, okay, you're just being nice just to get something, and I'm categorizing use the same thing. And I'm gonna push you away because I feel like you're completely different and shit.
Yeah.
But they start realizing like, oh, this is different. What I had before ain't it. And the older that we're getting, the harder it is for us to get out of our ways. Right. We're stuck on. You know, you got certain people who lives that type of culture and shit, and they're going to be stuck in that way. So they're going to continuously go on into that way because at first it worked for them. So why is it no longer working? They can't switch it off. So now they're upset. It's like, damn, you liked me before. Oh, you like the square nigga now. You like this. That's cornball shit. That ain't fun.
But
That
as
ain't
women,
this.
we've been told that our whole life, though, coming up, too. So it's kind of like, I feel like it's a group effort. It's not just the women turning down the cornball niggas. It's the niggas dragging the corny niggas or whatever. Like, when you see, like, these are the niggas that's getting bullied.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I think nobody talks about that. You only talk about the part, the women wouldn't date them, but y'all was bullying these niggas too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was putting them down, and it was kind of like, well, shit.
I don't
want to get associated with that. You know what I mean? Like, you know how it is coming up. It's like, I don't want to get associated with the kids that get bullied. So that's not who you gonna pick or kick it with.
Yeah.
No, it's a fact.
I want to. There is a flip side to what we're talking about, and I think what you guys are touching on is spot on because those niggas are also mad because how it's perceived is as a woman when they see a woman being with the Future, it's like, okay, you're being a hoe with the Future, but then now you're trying to be the wife with the Russell. So it's like they see that and they're like, so the nice guys, there is this mantra and there is a trope that nice guys do finish last. And for the most part, they're like, okay, you had your fun from 20 to 28. Now you want to be serious and now you want me to settle down. And unfortunately, in most cases or in some cases, now I'm having to pay for another man's mistake or I'm having to pay for another man's responsibility. Because I saw that going around too, where it's like us niggas like Russell or Russell niggas don't want to have to take care of a kid that you had with
First of all,
some other man.
first of all.
Hold on. I know what you about to say. Y'all niggas ain't Russell.
Y'all ain't Russell. You're not.
But I understand what they're trying to say is that the nice guys or the people that are wanting to respect you and treat you with respect do not want to get you after you've been tossed around or whatever, or had your whole phase, and then now have to deal with the consequences or whatever.
We do it every day. And that's the part that's really, I'm so tired of hearing that, because what are y'all doing from 20 to 28? The same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand this logic that
Creating
you had
the
your
single
fun
mothers.
and you was
Creating
kicking
the
it and you
single mother.
thank you.
Yes.
Come on now, half the time.
Yes.
But it's like y'all had y'all fun and dated, and then now you ready to settle down with the good girl.
Yeah.
So what is the difference? Why are we arguing this?
Yeah.
Because everybody has fun with the hoe until it's time to be with
Everybody dates.
Well, and can we say, look, can we say this? Stop putting a negative connotation on settling.
It's not even settling. It's just you found the person that you actually want to be with.
That's settling.
the hoe. No.
No,
Okay, so
we're talking about
listen.
settling as you wanted this, but now you got this.
No, see, but that's what I'm saying. I think people get that mixed up. When I say I settled
settling
down,
and settling down is different.
That's what I'm about to say.
Different.
But what I'm saying is people get that mixed up. If I say that I'm settling down, then what most people would say is they're thinking settling. Like, oh, well, I'm telling you, that's the connotation, because when people are going through their whole phase or dating multiple men or dating multiple women or et cetera, then it's like you're giving that's the definition, is you're giving up something and you are taking whatever it is that you feel like is better for you in that time period. But they'll define that as settling. I say it's settling down.
Why does dating have to be called a whole phase?
You tell me.
Well, I don't think dating is a whole phase.
You tell me,
literally,
Steph. Calling
what
me.
we just saying, you was being a hoe with the futures, whatever. And at the end of the day, like I said, we know Sierra dated Bow Wow, 50 Cent, and Futures. So where the whole phase at? Did I miss it?
I'm just saying.
Where the whole? That's three people.
I'm just saying.
Where the whole phase at?
Generally.
Well,
generally.
But
I'm
when you
saying
date, no, I'm just saying in general, when you date, that's why women date, like I said before, privately, because if you date publicly and people know that you've dated two people, you was hoeing.
Well,
it's crazy. Like if your relationship was public and you had two public relationships, three public relationships.
That is very true.
All of a sudden, that's three relationships.
Very true, but
mind you, but you could get with a girl who don't have no public relationships, but got smashed by 20 niggas on the under. So
yeah, I would say
three relationships.
I would say that what you're saying is correct, but on the flip side of it, we've seen those conversations where people say, "I can't wait more than 2 weeks," or "I got to test the car before I buy the car," and all this other stuff. So when you are seeing somebody dating multiple people, and if they've also said that I cannot wait longer than 2 weeks, then the assumption is more than not, if you are dating somebody, that you probably slept with them. So you can't have both sides of that. You can't say I want to date multiple people but not be considered a hoe.
No. You're adding in that layer of people be saying they can only wait 2 weeks. Again, an assumption that every single person you go on a date with, you slept with. Maybe that's the truth for you.
No, I'm saying dating. I didn't say you go on a date. If you go on a date with one person, obviously that's different. I'm saying
I said three public relationships. I didn't even say just dating.
No, but I'm not talking about Sierra. I'm saying
in general. We're still talking about in general.
If you have a public relationship and it's more than one, it's seen as you're a hoe. But again, you just said if somebody go on a date, it's automatically assumed that they slept with that person.
See, but
if it's public. That's
I think
ridiculous.
Sierra was seen like that because of she was with Future. I don't think it was because of the fact that she dated Bow Wow 50. I think it was because of who Future is. Then that time that to her was like, okay, we know what kind of women that he likes, and obviously if he's with her, then
but
you
we've
went
already
from
seen the things that Future said about Sierra.
We know. We know.
We know.
We're talking about generally.
Because obviously she wasn't like the ones that he was with before.
Right.
From what he says. So
that's true. Bottom line is y'all niggas need to stop.
Because they be acting like if you fuck with a hoe, you're automatically a hoe too.
A hoe by association?
Yeah, hoe by association.
I didn't even know, honestly, when she's dated Future so damn long ago. Like, I want to say that's like when he was first coming out. I really didn't even know who the nigga was.
Well, he was a part of Oh my God.
To really even say that he was, I didn't even know he had that many baby mamas.
Future has been around for a while.
How many baby mamas did he have when he got with Sierra?
That I don't know. I don't keep track of baby mamas. I don't know.
Well, because I know he got hella more baby mamas since then, but I mean,
yeah, I'm sorry. Future was part of the Dungeon family, so he's been in music for a minute. It just when you say when he came out, you're meaning like when he became famous, when he started to resurface, or when he started to kind of get some attraction. So yeah.
So I mean, I couldn't even say who he was then, but obviously she dated him way long ago, and it's still on her track record.
So let me so
Only
let's
because of
wrap
child.
up the segment. Do we think that Russell Wilson is a square? Or
Yeah.
corny? Yes.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I know. I just want to let's just get that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. He is. I believe so. See, but do we mix up square with maybe different culture or non-cultured? Because does that mean that you're a square?
So we associate square with
Because
somebody.
he's mixed, right?
Yeah.
He has to be mixed, right? And we don't know where he grew up. I mean, I think I would assume that he grew up around. Seems like white people, right?
If you're not with all the hood culture and all the isms and all of that shit, you're square.
Yeah. If you don't
That's just what
participate
it
in the flexing, you don't
You know what I'm
participate in
saying?
the
Then
in
you're
the partying and shit and
See, but what I like about Russell is he's never tried to be somebody that he's not.
Never.
Never.
And that's the part that's so weird. It's like, why are y'all so mad at this nigga for just doing him? Literally. And it really just, it gets the baby daddies in a frenzy. Like, it drives them crazy.
Because you know why? Because most baby daddies, that the ones that are angry, have been in a situation where another man has came in and taken care of their children.
Yep.
And has highlighted maybe what they're not doing.
That's crazy. And to me, it's like, damn. Again, like I said, it's just weird to me as a collective, the black men, like who, as a collective, y'all choose to prop up and who y'all choose to tear down. It's just kind of weird.
I
to
don't
me.
understand the enamoration or the love affair that black men have with Future.
What it is
don't.
okay, so what it
They
is
wanna be
with
him.
But why?
Nope, it's not even just that. It seems like it's a lot easier and a lot more fun to be Future, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be easy or fun to be Russell.
Yeah.
I really need somebody to break that down for me. I
No,
get what
I
you're
get- I
saying.
get what
That's
you're
it.
saying.
No, I
That makes
understand what you're
perfect
saying,
sense.
but I'm just thinking logically. So it is more fun to have broken homes, paying child support, and having to maintain that than it is to have one household, one wife, all under one roof.
So it's not just the personality and the shit that's going on.
You're
It's
just
how
talking
they
about
got
being
the
lit, the pettiness,
Right.
the going
Fun.
out, the
It's-
having. I got you.
it's how they got it
The
as well.
access,
I got
the
you.
flexing.
Right, because
the-
listen,
got
like
you.
it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to be a rapper than a quarterback. It is a lot easier to be known as a rapper than to be known as a quarterback. Because at a certain point at sports, if you don't make it by your early, you're not. If you're not in the league or at any type of league,
It's a different type of talent.
No, I understand what you're saying.
people still trying in their 30s to make it as a rapper.
He's
you
the
can't do sports that damn early. So it's a lot easier to still have that dream of I can be at this level.
It's
I
the
can
lifestyle.
It's the lifestyle.
People just
it's the
attracted to the
lifestyle.
lifestyle,
It's
which
the yeah.
they don't know nothing about.
Nope.
It's the cars, it's the money, it's the women, it's the jewelry, it's the lit, it's the fame. Yeah, I
Yep.
get it. I get it.
It's all of that because you haven't really heard too much about Russell outside of sports and Sierra,
And that's good.
and that's good.
I
That's
think he's
good.
good with that. I think he kind of
Exactly.
just minds his business.
And
I don't-
obviously Sierra
That's
loves
how
it.
it's supposed to be.
And-
Out the
and-
way.
And just back to the clip. For him to say Sierra wouldn't be with him if he did not have money.
She had money.
Would Sierra be with Future if he didn't have money?
You
Don't
could,
we-
You could have the same argument.
Didn't you just say that we said
Future,
that?
if you go back and look, Future was busted.
You're right, but
Before he had money, he was busted.
But he was in the music industry. She had access. So my question is, you just talked about that, how men always brag about being able to have more access to the women that they want when they have money. but then you complain about the women that you get when you get the money.
I don't get that.
I'm
Do you
still
want
confused.
access to them or not?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna just tell you right now. Overall, they just unhappy.
For
Because here's the
real,
thing, though, 'cause,
they
like-
miserable. They got PTSD from getting rejected.
Oh,
and
no.
so it's kind of hard for them to accept like somebody.
But then you
possibly-
want women to want you for you. I don't get it.
So here-
what do you want?
but
so-
you use the money to get their attention.
So, so here,
But then you complain about them being gold diggers.
because they can't get them yet.
What?
No, deadass. Check it out. Check it out.
Hold on.
No, listen.
Your life.
Listen.
Bing bang.
Listen. So we know that our access to certain women opens up with the more money that we have.
Absolutely.
Until we get there, we're gonna be really upset that we ain't got it yet, and we're gonna be looking at them like they need to bring down their standards and be like, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing that." But as soon as we get there, it's a certain expectation that we have, and it's like, damn. Now it's like I don't even know if you like me.
But why
You
are
knew
women,
me beforehand.
The thing that's crazy to me is women are always expected to date down because you say Sierra wouldn't have been with Russel Wilson or with Future if they didn't have money, but she had money and a career herself. So who was she supposed to date? Because at the end of the day, when you have
Nobody.
as a woman, when you have money, your access changes too. You're not
Facts.
around the same type of people no more.
Facts.
You get what I'm
I
saying? Like
don't
if you're in the industry, you know what I mean? You're probably going to have access to other people
There-
in the industry.
there's
So
a-
what are you not supposed to date somebody in the industry so you don't look like a gold digger even though you have your own damn money?
There's a double standard.
It's a huge double standard.
There's a double standard.
Huge double standard.
When men, well,
But it's some of these dudes who
there-
like the Chris Brown. Chris Brown don't never date nobody but girls that he probably just
but
found
you
off
know
the
what?
street.
But there's a double standard. There's a double
other
standard.
than Rihanna.
The way I'm thinking about it, there's a double standard on both sides. When men have access to women that they would not normally have access to, it's normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
When women do that, then it's
It's choosing up.
if they're dating up, then you're like a gold digger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other end, okay, never mind.
Because they'll go into a lot.
Because
This
look
can go
at
into a lot.
No.
This is going to a
And I
lot.
want to give us enough time for the Will Smith and Jada.
All right.
This is another conversation because there's a word for it. I just can't think of it. It's like it's a ummy. It's like there's polygamy, and then there's something that is like a word that when you actually like move up in social class. I just forgot what the word is.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have that conversation on a different day.
We'll have it on the live.
I know you're looking for it. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Because now I gotta look it up.
We'll talk about it on the live.
Yes. So for those that are listening, we are going to have a IG live where we're going to talk about more of the topics and go a little bit more in depth. And please pay attention to the live. So I will find by the end of this podcast, I will find that word. I just forgot what the word is. Too much stuff to remember. All right. Now we are going to move to the
Transgressive?
No. It's not transgressive. Trust me, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it before we go. And somebody in the comment or somebody listening was like, they're telling me the word. I just, we want to get onto the internet when. Hold on, I gotta get my air horns, man. Where's my air horn? Where's my DJ? There we go. All right, we're gonna move on to the internet wins again. Here we go. This always does it to me. Okay, air horns is going off if you guys can hear. Air horns are going off. Internet wins again. There we go. Internet wins again, where we talk about the hottest internet topics that's going around the internet right now. We're going to get into what everybody wants us to talk about, what everybody's been talking about, everybody on the internet's talking about.
Hypergamy. Hypergamy.
Hypergamy. That's what it is. Damn it. See.
Beach it. Colloquially referred to as marrying up.
Yes. I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to see the smart one. BJ's the smart one today.
All right, Google.
All right, Google. We're going to talk about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and the slap that was heard around the world. We're going to talk about the Oscars and all this shit. And we're going to get into Black Table Talk Part 2. If you have not listened to Black Table Talk Part 1, it is a really good episode that actually talks about childhood trauma. So please go check that one out. There's a lot of gems on it, and we argue a lot on that podcast as well. So Will Smith and Jada. We're not even going to talk about the Chris Rock shit because we talked about it on the IG Live. I think we all have an understanding that we all agreed that Will Smith was wrong for the violent acts, right? But he wasn't wrong for what he was trying to do, but he was wrong for how he did it, right? I think we all agreed on that?
Yeah.
I know you said that sometimes a motherfucker has to get slapped.
You know, I just want to make sure that's known,
Okay.
that sometimes you got to slap somebody.
Sometimes you got to slap somebody.
I'm going to let that put that in there.
Oscars came down with their decision. So they're banning him for 10 years, not just from the Oscars, but any event that is tied to the Oscars as well. Right?
Yep.
So before we even get into the bigger conversation, do we think that was excessive?
Like fucking excessive as hell.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know because I don't really have nothing to go on. Like, has this happened before? Like, honestly, I was shocked that anything was going to happen. I was like, it's the Oscars. Like, niggas was acting like...
It's excessive.
I think 10 years is excessive.
10 years is excessive.
I
You could have gone away with 2 or you could have gone away with 2 or 3. Because to say we're trying to prove a point, make an example, 10 years is like you're damn near ostracizing him.
That's a decade, yeah.
That's a decade. That's a decade worth of people not want to hire him for work because they were like, we're trying to go for the Oscars, right? If they're trying to go, if somebody's trying to go for an Oscar, they're not going to hire somebody who can't who can't go.
Yeah. That's a long time. 10 years is a long time.
10 years is a long.
But
because how old is he?
Technically, it was assault. So, and again, I'm just playing devil's advocate. You have to set a precedent that it doesn't happen again.
That's true. And for me, like I always said from the beginning, I was team sometimes you got to slap somebody, and sometimes the repercussions, you know, like I said, there's freedom of speech, but there's not freedom from repercussions. And sometimes if that repercussion is you getting slapped, then you just got slapped. But with that can also come repercussions, and you have to be ready. If you ready to slap somebody wherever, you got to be ready to deal with those repercussions too. And that was his repercussions.
So
10 years,
and he accepted it. Obviously, he's not really much choice but to accept it. But he did accept it, and he had nothing else. I mean, he said that he respected the decision. So, and I think you answered my question. I would ask, in any project, would people be less likely to work with him because of the fact that he cannot go? Because he can't even do virtual. So, but I would think that if they win an Oscar for the movie, somebody else can go on his behalf. But I would think that maybe the people voting, because who votes for the Oscars? It's an
academy. So everybody, it's like everybody.
Okay.
So
it's kind of like, ain't it like how it is for the Grammys? Like everybody gets to vote for, you know what I mean? You have voting rights if you think pay, you got to pay.
Yeah, it's all politics for the most part.
Well, because you get from insiders, they say that they get paid. Like you basically pay for your Oscar. So
yeah.
So I would think that now if the Academy is the one that votes, they would be less likely to vote for anything.
But the Academy is your peers.
Right. But I think that they all came out and basically said that they did not agree with what Will Smith did. So what I'm saying is, I think that they will be.
No, I was just making it clear so people know that the Academy is not like this board of white folks.
It's
your
peers.
peers.
Right. So, but I would assume that they would penalize him for his actions. And that may go past the 10 years.
True.
Maybe, right?
Because
we saw how like Amy, what's her name? Amy Schumer, how like she came out and said that she's traumatized, and I don't even know who even asked her.
White tears.
Who asked her?
White unrequested tears.
And how are you traumatized?
She's a comedian.
I feel like everybody wanted to chime in and get their 2 cents in to kind of try to ride the wave, and it backfired on a lot of people.
It did.
It really did.
So
especially her.
How do we? So I like where we're going. How do we feel about people jumping to throw Will Smith under the bus?
I thought it was absolutely whack, and I feel like it just once again shows. It kind of reminded me of like Drake. Like people could not wait. People could that's why people rode the Pusha T wave, because they hated him so bad. They just was waiting for something to be able to ride that hate train.
That's
literally.
That's pretty much it, because it's like you gotta understand that there are a lot of haters. And if they can't find anything to hate on, I'm gonna find something small to pick at. Oh, you gave me something to eat.
What? Like, and it's not even, I won't even say it's just us. It's not even just our community. Yes, our community has been dragging Will Smith and Jada for quite a while now, but I feel like the white community and within the industry, I think people hated who Will Smith was and what he stood for and what he built. They couldn't touch him, really, because of how he built his platform. He did the clean rap, all of that. Like, they really just, he was kind of untouchable. So I felt like this was their opportunity. This was their moment to be like, oh, nigga made a mistake. We got him. We got him. And of course, you know us. We already had our issues with Will and Jada, and we jumped right on the bandwagon with him.
Do you think we did?
We did.
I don't know. What? I think we, from what I saw, I think when we are tied to a celebrity, we love our celebrities. And
Not Will and Jada.
I think we are no, I think we critique them, but I think we supported Will as far as, like, most black people said that the 10-year ban was too much.
Way too much.
And I think most black people will still go watch Will's movie, support him, support Bel Air. I think we still support Will. I think we don't like Jada. I think that's where the black community.
Oh, right now, yeah. A lot of us are starting
I think we still rock with Will. But I think the more and more we start putting the dots together, I think Jada is like, all right, Jada, like you like.
I just feel like everybody keeps trying to make Will a victim based on not much evidence to me. And I think, no. I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of, when you really get into the meat of it, which people don't. People are only looking at the headlines. People not really watching this shit. They just, like you said, the rush to be first, the rush to be a part of the conversation. And a lot of people is just, some of these think pieces just ain't making no sense to me. Like, do you watch the show?
So what? So for the sake of people listening, give me an example of what you're talking about.
An example for me is, like, I'll use myself as an example. I talk about a lot of shit on this podcast. I share a lot of memes that have nothing to do with my relationship. But again, as a woman, if you're outspoken, you're automatically embarrassing your husband. That's just how it is. It's always a reflection. Anything that you do is always a reflection back on your husband. So she at the red table talking about this topic or that topic, and they feel like that's embarrassing to Will. Well, even if she don't speak about him specifically.
But so the stuff that she's saying that people, so the stuff that they're saying that she's embarrassed him over is relationship related shit. So of course, if she's talking about Pac, if she's talking about her not being loved or not being satisfied and this and this and that in a relationship with somebody, then it's like, yo, you putting out some information that motherfucker shouldn't be knowing about. So yeah, he's being embarrassed. Yeah, it's not like it's not like she's saying some other shit outside of the situation that had nothing to do with Will, and it's like, damn, Will, check your girl.
But the comments that they were talking about were taken out of context.
I think you both are right.
Especially the one about not being satisfied in the bedroom, taken out of context. Like, a lot of this stuff is just...
That one specifically was definitely taken out of context.
Taken out of context, so it just be like, I don't understand. Like, we have different guests and we talk about different topics all the time. You have to contribute to the conversation.
See, but I think again, you guys are both absolutely correct. The problem here is, and I think we talked about this last time, is how you package the content. Because the clip that went out was I'm not satisfied in my relationship, or I wasn't satisfied sexually, something like that. And it's like they used it to try to draw you in to watch, but we already know that most people ain't gonna watch it. So they just took that clip and ran with it. So Jada has to know. I should have pulled up the clip, because the thing about it is the clip will go out, but the part of that becomes the headline don't be the whole clip. Right. And then nobody actually clicks it to actually, but the video be within the article. Right. Niggas just don't click it and watch the whole video. But the clip, the clip includes all of it. But the clip from the one that was going out from Red Table Talk from their Facebook group was a short clip that was used to try to get some buzz. They know what they're doing. They knew what they're doing. The thing that I think most people don't like. Hold on. I think we're getting ahead. No, fuck it. We're gonna talk about it. I think what people don't like is that majority of the content or the clips or what's used for promo, if it is relationship wise, it seems like it's at Will's expense. Yeah. And I think that's where people have the issue. For instance, so I mean, we were talking about the Oscars, and we talked about this before. I have an issue, and again, as a man, men are gonna look at this differently. Women are gonna look at this differently because we all have our own. I don't care what nobody say, you're going to project in some shape, form, or fashion. So let's just it's not even some form or fashion. You're always going to project because your perspective is based on your lived experiences, right? Period. But so for Will, this is what I don't like. I don't agree with Will slapping Chris Rock. I've already made that clear. I do understand him wanting to protect his wife. I do understand the background because he felt like he was a coward his whole life because he couldn't protect his mom from getting abused. I understand the background. So I understand what may have triggered it. I also understand that their marriage was it was tense. That's been reported. That's been tense the last couple months. I've also understand that he said that he's been tense because all of the jokes and all the memes and all the social media stuff, right? So with that being said, after the slap, I feel like Jada did not have to agree with Will's stance, but she should have supported her husband, and maybe she will later. But as of right now, there's not been any statement that has been saying that I stand with my husband. It has been, all that's been coming out has been, I don't agree with what he did. I think that he overreacted. It was unnecessary. And it's like, and then she said, I don't need to be protected.
I ain't gonna go with that. Just to keep a sliver of journalistic integrity, because those weren't good enough receipts for me to go on that.
And that's fine. I said, and that's why I said it's been reported. I didn't say she said it. I'm just saying, but she could clear that up easily. The same way she put, we all need to be healed, or I'm praying that we on the path to healing, could be the same thing she put out, the same way she put out the thing for August when all that stuff is swirling around, the same way she put out statements for Jordan Woods when she was trying to protect Jordan Woods against the Kardashians.
But this is different, though.
It's your husband. And it's clear.
I don't know.
That he's
I
going
don't
through
live
something.
my life in the public eye. So again, it's all assumption. He could be saying, "Don't say shit." We don't know. He could be saying, "Don't say shit. We just gonna do this." You know what I'm saying? We just gonna do these publicity, whatever. You see, he didn't say shit. He literally had a 7-word statement after the ban was issued. He issued a 7-word statement. Obviously, it's seeming to me that they're either staying hush hush and letting it ride out. I don't know. I'm not a publicist.
Right.
Shit, I don't know what their publicist is telling them to do.
Right,
or
right.
they could be saving it for the red table. I don't know.
That's what I think they're doing. I think they're waiting for that because right now there's nothing else because everybody's waiting. Everybody's waiting to figure out
No,
what
they
they're
not.
gonna say.
They writing them think pieces. They ain't waiting for shit.
No, I'm saying no. But
They don't need no evidence.
No.
They don't need nothing. Niggas ain't gotta say nothing.
No, they're going. I mean, that's the thing though. People are going to continually talk about it, and then once they start doing the red table talk, they're going to put that whatever information they put out. They're going to spin it however they're going to. They're going to post it as the headline, give some clickbait, and see what's going on and all that shit. Get everything misconstrued, and people are going to start watching it, and then the information is going to come out. Now everybody's going to be hearing all these other things while we're going about it, and it's like, what do they have to say? So as soon as they start dropping shit, everybody's going to go.
Oh, the think pieces is gonna be so damn long once they actually do talk.
Will's book is back #1 seller.
Back number
and
one.
That will be the most watched Red Table Talk. I just think people got to understand there is some credibility to what some of the people saying. Even like I went back and watched the clip about the birthday thing, about the 40th birthday, right? Where Will said that he planned this whole thing because she was in a midlife crisis, whatever like that. And to me, I got what Jada was trying to say, but to say that was a display of his ego, and I said this last episode, are the same place that you want, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying as a society, as in general, the same place that black women want black men to protect them, be there for them, love them, and have pride in that is the same way that you can also twist that to say that it's toxic masculinity. He was just trying to be there and do something for his wife because he was concerned.
Didn't he agree that it was ego based?
But he agreed based on what she said. But I can have an ego by saying I have pride in wanting to help my wife get out of a midlife crisis. Does that mean that it's toxic?
We talking about the birthday? We're talking about the slap.
I'm talking about the birthday.
The birthday. Oh,
He
yeah.
said he did all. And again, we had this conversation. It's a situation of you wanting to prove something, but unless you're doing it with me and mine, you're doing it for you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so you wanted to do a big display because you felt like that's what would make you feel good, what you felt like would change the situation. You didn't take into consideration what I actually would want. And I think that's one thing, like I keep hearing from black men, how are we supposed to protect black? How are we supposed to do this? Talk to the black women that you with. Everybody wants this general consensus. It's going to be different. Black women aren't a monolith. Black men aren't a monolith. Everybody's not going to, it's going to look different. The way I feel protected, ask your woman how she feels protected. Don't just come in with this idea of this is what it means to protect my woman. who is she at her core? Who is she as a person? What does she actually want? How does she actually feel protected?
But I don't think Jada...
That should matter.
I don't think Jada knows either, though.
I'm just saying in general, though.
I know, but I'm saying...
And that's black men's problem is you want to provide, but you're not taking into consideration who you're providing for.
And that I totally agree with. But at least appreciate the effort. At least the effort. Because like I said, it didn't seem like it. Will said the first thing she said was that was the most disgusting display of your ego.
Yep.
That's the first thing to come out your mouth? Hey, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I would have appreciated if you would have taken me into account when you did all of this.
Absolutely. It's always a way to say stuff.
But what I'm saying is, but we don't,
and you married, you don't always say it like that.
But I'm not
let's just keep it real.
I'm not displaying what I'm saying out to the world either, though.
But you're sharing it as a couple.
But if you couple that with all the other stuff, like the quote that she said that she never wanted to be married. Like, when you start adding up all these comments, it doesn't look good for Will. I wasn't satisfied. I never wanted to be married. The biggest thing that you did as your display, and this is what Will said. He said it was a display of my love. So when I do display my love, then that was the display of your ego. There has to be some type of give and take here.
You know what?
Because it seems like it always has to be Jada's way.
Yeah, because he loved her his way. He did all that in his love language, right?
We talk about that all the time.
Right. If his love language is gifts and acts of service, everything that he did for her birthday fell into that line. I think what we don't realize is that there are essentially four. Well, I think there are four things to show love in a relationship, right? How I love you. I'm gonna love you the way I love you. You're gonna love me. I'm also gonna love you the way you like to be loved. You're gonna love me the way you like to love, and you're also going to love me the way that you know I like to be loved. So there's because there's two. You know what I mean?
It has to be
right. Because I mean, most of the times, like my love language is going to be my love language of receiving love is completely different from my love language of how I give love.
Right.
And I'm going to assume it's the same way for you. It's all about communicating. Like, okay, I see that you love me your way. And then also you show me how you love me in my way. You're paying attention.
Right.
So there's that balance. It's not always going to be the same cookie cutter thing. It's about like, okay, cool. It's about a give and take in both ways.
And it's about who you with, because it's going to look different. Like, you could be in one relationship and be this way. The next relationship, like, damn, that person was cool with me. Now it's complete because it's a different person. But I think the only thing, the conclusion that I could come to from their marriage, just from everything that I've seen, is that they got married young, which she said that. Ben said that. A lot of people do this. They get married because
they were kind of
they pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not always the answer. But it happens a lot of the time that people be like, well, shit.
I will quote. Jada said, I really did not want to get married. She said, we only got married because Grammy was crying. And she's talking about after she was pregnant. It was almost as if Gammy, and I'm assuming that she's talking about her mom, was like, you have to get married, so let's talk about the wedding, said Pinkett Smith, prompting the Barfield Norris to confess, I remember feeling very strongly and wanted you guys to be married. I do remember wanting, and this is the grandma speaking, I remember wanting you and Will to be married, but I don't remember your rejection of the idea of marriage. Barfield Norris added, I remember the rejection of the idea of a wedding, but not of a marriage. And Jada Pinkett then recalled, and now Gammy gone to Will, crying about, I don't want a wedding, and now I'm being forced to have a wedding. She said, I just wanted to be the two of us on a mountain because it was like, this is a serious business. So see, even then, breakdown in communication. Granny or mom wanted her to get married. Jada Pinkett Smith never said, I did not want to get married. She just objected to the wedding and said she wanted to just do it on a mountain. So there's still a breakdown in communication.
And they end up doing like a New Year's Eve, wedding, whatever.
So later on, now it's, I never wanted to be married, but you didn't express that. You just said you didn't want a wedding. So it seems to me that Jada does not like big expressions or big parties or big things like that, right? So that's where you're saying where Will should have had a little bit more insight to her and
what you want,
yeah, but it seems like Will does, and that's what you were saying, that usually you love people the way that you want to be loved, right? So that he protected her because I'm assuming he would want to be protected in the same sense, or he made a big extravagant party for her. So that's what you're talking, and that's why I was saying that I think that you guys are both right. And this again focuses and shows the importance of communication. If you do not want something, then you need to speak it and say it. And now it makes sense on why she said we needed to redefine our marriage. Because you never wanted to be married.
Well, because it was defined by me being pregnant.
Right.
In the beginning.
And by the social pressure of what you wanted, a monogamous relationship. Which maybe at that point in time, maybe she again wanted to explore other connections. I don't know. We don't know, and that's all guesswork. But obviously, we can kind of put two and two together. She didn't want to get married. They needed to redefine the marriage that worked for her. And again, that's where even then, it just seems like it always has to work for Jada.
Well, it has to.
But
you
so,
in a
but
relationship, if it don't work for me, then I should leave.
But where does it work for Will?
Ask him.
But he said it. He said he wanted to be in a monogamous relationship. And then later, Jada said, well, I never saw that growing up. I always saw basically other kinds of relationships. I think that we talk about this all the time when it comes to dating.
Willingly participated. Like he
Not
dated.
at the beginning, though. I think he was under the impression they were going to be in a monogamous relationship.
Exactly. But then when that was not the case, he willingly participated.
Because they were already married. And I think when you are in a union with somebody and you are loving somebody, sometimes you're willing to take whatever it is that you can get. I think we've all been in a relationship like that where it's like, okay, this may not be what I actually wanted, but at least I have you in some type of capacity, especially when there's kids involved.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't have no kids, and I'm glad I didn't get married with kids in the equation.
Right. But I'm sure that you can relate that you've been in a relationship where maybe early, like when you were young, that it may not have been on the turn. Well,
no, because like I said, I don't have that responsibility of kids. So when I was dating, it was always like, if I don't like something, I'm out. Because I didn't have nothing to lose. So I can't speak on that.
A lot of people, okay, so without kids, the other type of something on the same level would be like if you guys had like an apartment or a spot together and shit. You know what I mean? It ends up being a situationship. Because,
a commitment.
Right. It's a commitment because we're living together and shit. We might as well.
That's why I cannot identify, because if something's not working for me, I'm gone. I'm not finna stay in it. I love my husband to death, but I'm sorry, I'm not finna stay miserable, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for yourself.
Right.
You don't have control over nobody but yourself.
Right.
I'm not finna live this life miserable to keep up a facade or an image or none of that, because we talked about it on the last episode. The further and further you get away from who you are and what you present, that in between is miserable as fuck. I'm not doing that.
That's true.
I'm sorry.
But
you're grown. I'm not finna sit up here and be like, oh, poor Will.
Yeah. But I also got to say, but in a relationship, it's never going to be 100 for either. There's going to be some times where you're going to have to compromise. But I know what you're saying.
But
something
like
that compromises.
Further and further. Right. And if I'm miserable in that middle, something going to have to give.
See, but, and I want to just hammer this home. I think that meme that y'all was talking about that if you get married before 27, 28, that you left
25 to 27 is like, if you get married between 25 and 27, it's like leaving a party at 8 p.m.
Okay, so I want to talk about that.
It's more like 10, but
it depends on who you are.
Depends on who you are.
We talked about brain development and that your brain is not fully developed to 26 or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think more time is always on your side. For the most part, right? For the most part.
Allegedly.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Because your mentality is going to change. What you may want in life may change. Your values may change.
Oh, man.
So if you get married early, you are running the risk of that person may... First of all, we always put our best foot forward. And we lie to each other. Our society has emboldened us to lie and be dishonest. Because we want because we want people to see the best version of what we want to present. And when you get married or when you're in a long-term relationship, intimacy is knowing that person for who they are in and out, right? Mm-hmm. And you cannot be intimate with somebody that is giving you their false sense of who they are. I think Will said that he did that, and obviously Jada did that. So I think maybe even in that conversation of redefining the marriage, they had to redefine their marriage based on who they actually were and not who they're trying to be. So I just want to say that for the people that are listening, before you get into any kind of long-term commitment, especially marriage, you need to know who you are dealing with and who you are and what it is that you expect. And I'm just going to plug this. I am a proponent for pre-engagement counseling.
But even if you do all that, I think people need, there's only so much planning you can do because you're going to change. That person is going to change. You're not going to stay the same person you was from when you was 27 to when you 30 to when you 33.
That's
like,
true.
yes, your core values are going to stay the same because even with me working through my mental health and getting through anxiety, I'm not the same person no more. As I peel back these layers,
Right.
I can't be that same person no more.
Right.
So yes, I am changing. Am I changing to the point that our relationship is going off kilter? No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, how I present and who I am is changing. You know what I'm saying? So you got to continue to get to know each other. That's why that communication has to stay there. That's why you have to continue to date your partner, get to know your partner, because they're not going to stay the same person. They're just not. Like,
But
I don't care how much counseling you did.
Right.
You have no idea what's going to happen.
But you need to know the core of who that person is. I guess that's what I'm saying. Because obviously circumstances, life, perspectives change.
It's shit, unlearning things. Like some things that I just really held on, some very core beliefs that I really held on to and thought I would hold on to for the rest of my life. I don't even believe that no more. I mean, does that make me a bad person? Does that mean, oh, well, that's not the person who I married? At the end of the day, people change. So as these changes happen, either you change and continue to stay together, or sometimes you don't.
Right. But in marriage, when you are marrying somebody, and again, just like I said that we embolden lying, we also embolden saying things that we don't mean. When you say, I will be with you till life, till death do us part, you need to really think about that and say, is this person, if they change, am I still going to be with them? And if the answer is no, like if there is like, you have to think about those things. I'm not saying that you're going to completely change. Most people don't completely change. But
There's little certain things.
there are certain, at the core of that person, who they are, their values, what they believe, their convictions. I think that's what I'm looking for.
Convictions,
Their-
exactly. Because
their
y'all could look at
convictions.
look at the damn 10 years ago on your Facebook and tell me if you still believe some of that shit you was saying.
Yeah. But
No.
as far as your conviction, like I've known Steph since high school. You've always been about treating people with respect, and
Always.
And so I was saying, so that's not going to change.
Yeah.
But you can't. But I think what some people do is they get the Build-A-Bear syndrome, where they like, okay, I can they look good, they fine, they got a fat ass, and I can maybe change them into a good person. No. You need to just find yourself a good person, because your attraction may grow over time. You know what I mean? But that person's mentality, that's a lottery. Some people change and some people get better, but some people don't. And for me, you can't expect somebody that's been selfish for 28 years to then all of a sudden switch when they get married and say, okay, now I'm gonna be unselfish.
It don't work like that. I think too, like another thing, like did we play that as a clip? No, I don't think we played it as a clip, but you remember that clip of the dude that was talking about his wife being a ride or die and she went to jail for him and all of this, right?
Gilly. Yeah.
He also said that one of the things that he liked about her was that she was very, like, she didn't like attention. She's very, like, low key and all of this. You might get with somebody that's like that, but you don't know why they like that. So later on down the line, if they blossom,
That's true.
and come out of that and change that, then all of a sudden it's bad.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That happens a lot of the time. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, people have to realize, how are you bonding? If you're bonding off of codependency, where they are only looking to you for all their social interaction, that is not a healthy bond for you to be going forward with. You want somebody to be, like you said, fully developed and comfortable and secure in who they are. Maybe they are wanting to stay home, but it's their choice. You know what I mean? But again, that may change. You may want to get social, and it's like, and that's where people start having friction. It's like, oh, why are you changing? Why are you wanting to go out all of a sudden? It's like, I have the right to change my mind, and I have the right to want to maybe be out of the house. I mean, because we've seen that just in the generations with our grandmothers and, grandfathers, where the man stayed home, and then the woman, the man went out to work, and then the woman stayed home. And then over the years, women wanted to work and wanted to do more things, and then that changes the dynamic of the relationships, where now it's not, you not just staying just because it makes the household work. Now it's like I have an option if I'm not happy to leave. So that changes the dynamic of now, okay, men, now y'all got to bring a little bit more to the table because it's not just I provide and come home. You need to be more well-rounded. Yeah, and likable.
That's what they
that
said.
part. They say a lot of times, you got to be likable. A lot of motherfuckers just aren't likable.
Before they didn't have to. Before it was just like
get
women,
your money, get your shit situated,
you got the
know
money,
how to do some shit.
You sit up there, you get the little dowry, you get a mule, and you get a wife. Like you didn't have to do shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you just had a wife, and she had to depend on you. She couldn't have a bank account, none of that.
Right.
And so now at this point, when you take that part away, when you take that out of the equation, it's like, damn, now I actually got to be likable. I have to actually make her want to be here too. Like it can't just.
Yeah, well, and it flip, and
I'm good over here.
And it flips. Yeah, you are good.
I'm good.
But it's the same thing. I think we talked about that before. Like men, you need to actually like your wife.
Yes.
Like don't just have her. Like she's not a maid. She's not a cook. She's not any of that. Like your marriage should be based on, do you actually love your wife? Can you just sit with her, talk, have conversation, hang out, spend time, enjoy your time with her? Or is she just there to be an accountant, business partner, cook, clean,
sex slave,
and that's it? Because then one day you're going to wake up and be like, I really don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I tolerate you. And I think a lot of people find themselves in relationships where they're just tolerating each other instead of liking each other.
That Jada just tolerates Will?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That side eye, damn.
And that's why men are so upset, because they've been in relationships like that where they've been only tolerated and not celebrated. I don't think Jada celebrates Will. And I think all the amazing things that Will does, I can't remember a time where I've seen her celebrate him.
She celebrates the kids, but not him.
And I mean, that's crazy.
Maybe that's not her love language.
So what is your love language? Is it entanglements? What is it?
I think for me, I'm not that person either. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really do the.
That's a lie. You celebrate.
No, I celebrate, but I'm saying I don't celebrate in the way that people find socially acceptable as far as like post and.
I don't agree with that.
Man Crush Monday and all of that. Like
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Every time that D-Lo does something, you support him. We see your support. Mm-hmm. Whether it be in person or online.
Right. It ain't gotta be loud, but a simple share is still celebrating.
Yeah, I think people just kind of expect it to be.
No, and then I've seen multiple posts where you would just shout him out for just being a good man.
Yeah.
And for men, especially men that did not have fathers affirm them, we are looking for affirmation in usually the wrong places. But the one person that we expect to affirm us, especially because you see us as a wife, you see us in times that nobody else sees us. You see us in the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning when we're planning our business. You see us on our way to work. You see us when we come home. You see us in our most vulnerable state. Mm-hmm. So for you not to celebrate me when you are the one that sees my most inner workings, that hurts.
I think.
And again, and I could be projecting, whatever it is, but I think most men would identify with, especially black men, because we are just. Black men and black women. I don't want to separate black women. I want to just talk about the black men. But we just deal with and have so much stuff on our shoulders that when we come home, we just expect to be seen. We want to be seen. And I just think, again, like back to the question you said, does Jada tolerate Will? I just think she tolerates him. Like even the Willow and Jada Pinkett Smith, the letter that she wrote to Tupac. Willow never met Tupac. So my question is, what conversations were Willow and Jada having to the point that pushed Willow to write that letter to say, Tupac, come back and make me and her make me and mommy happy? It's like, what? And again, I know that she probably has a really good relationship with Willow and they conversate, but to me, it's like that's disparaging towards Will again. Mm-hmm. Why are you talking to your daughter about a man that we all believe she was romantically with? That asking him to come, maybe she wasn't.
Y'all didn't see that new interview by what rapper was it saying that?
Corey Holcomb.
Yeah,
he was a comedian. He's a comedian.
Did he say something?
He wasn't around. He don't know Tupac.
Oh, okay. Shit, I don't know.
He just said that Tupac wouldn't have wanted Jada.
Oh, okay.
That's all he said. So, bottom line, they had a special bond, whether friendship or relationship. But it just, again, as a man, and I'm just speaking as a man, I would feel some kind of way if my wife told my daughter about a previous boyfriend, and then my daughter wrote a letter asking for him to come back. That means I'm not. So what am I here for?
That nigga dead.
It just looks bad. It just, again, and we always talk about egos, and male egos is fragile and all that other stuff. So if we understand that, then we should understand what this is doing to Will Smith. Will, I got your back, sir.
Fuck your life.
I mean,
Bing bang.
I would man up and do it moving.
I see that coming in the future. Because he
I don't know.
Nope.
Well, not from where their relationship is now. I don't think he's suffering as much as people are making it out to be, because we're still looking at it as a regular marriage, and they've said time and time again that it's not. And I feel like the society, we cannot wrap our minds around what it is that they've defined for themselves.
Well, we don't even know what it is. Yeah,
exactly. So we don't know what it is, but we can't wrap our minds around it either. So it's just kind of like this ongoing conversation, because it don't fit in the box of what it should be,
what the norm
traditionally,
is,
right? So it's kind of like one of those things that I'm like, I don't necessarily know if he's suffering as much as we say he is.
Based on the reaction that he did at the Oscars, I would say that he's maybe not directly tied to Jada, but he's going through something.
He's going through something, but Jada's not helping. She's not on his side. She's not showing that she's on his side at all.
See, but could it be because she said she didn't need to be protected? So the same way that we said that Will was loving her the way he wanted to be loved, is Jada maybe hands off because that's how she wants to be treated?
Look, my thing is this, though. We already know, we know the biggest thing is in a relationship that's super public. If you're going to be public about it, you should be showing certain type of teamwork, a certain type of partnership in public. Regardless of what he did, if you disagreed or not, you should not be saying that you disagree with what he did in public. Right? You shouldn't be saying shit about it.
I'm a very big proponent of protect your person in public and correct them in private.
I
always do that. But at the end of the day, I want to wait.
No, so
I mean it's
a podcast. You can't wait.
I want to wait.
You can't wait, Steph.
It's going to end. He admitted himself to the.
I want to see what she gonna say.
Nah,
I want to see what's gonna happen on the red table.
I can't wait for the red table talk, because our episode about to go up.
Yeah, he admitted himself into the mental health, whatever he's doing, and I feel like after that, if they might try and do some marriage counseling or some therapy or whatever, but it's going to come down to the point of it ain't anything anymore. It's going to stop.
I think it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Because I think even it sounded like in that clip where she was recording him when he didn't want to be recorded, whoever was helping them with their marriage, it seemed like Jada knew them. Like, she was like, oh, like, tell them that such and such helped us through our marriage. And it's like, I don't know, it just said like when you have a counselor, it's usually a neutral party. You know what I mean?
I thought, for me personally, I thought he was being sarcastic, but
it was hard to tell.
If he wasn't, I feel like, why would she have posted it with everything else that's already going around about them? It just wouldn't make sense to me.
That was an old clip.
Oh,
it just
resurfaced. The clip is old.
That don't make no sense to me.
The clip is old, but no, that was 100% genuinely him. You get to
he does that all the time.
No, his body language. His body language was showing that he was uncomfortable. You're not going to be sitting here like this.
I have to watch it again.
No, I saw his hand was like this.
I watch a lot of this stuff, and I'm like, he does that all the time.
I'm gonna give,
and that's why she was so annoyed, because he does that all the time.
I'm gonna give Steph some bail here.
It sounds like she gaslighting him.
I believed it was real, but it is not conclusive, and I think you can take it both ways. I think you can say he was being sarcastic, because Will jokes a lot. You don't know when Will's being just like, even on the slap, he laughed, then he got up and slapped him. So it's like, and then Jada laughed, and then it's like, but then Jada didn't find it. With them, it's hard to read. It is really hard to read them. But I think they do that on purpose. I think it's purposefully.
Yeah, no, that seemed very organic. That seemed very organic.
Talking about the slap?
No, I'm talking about the video.
And then what he was saying about his platform, that's why I felt like he was being sarcastic.
It was
like,
yeah, no, it was a platform. It was about being recorded without saying anything, and her talking about, you see this foolishness. His face was like, she's pissed me the fuck off.
Well, I took it as a joke. You're not gonna use my platform to build.
No, that definitely wasn't that. That definitely wasn't that.
What I took from that when he said that, to me, it was very telling. It was very telling because what it told me is, whether he was joking or not, I believe it was real, but I can see it being joking. What it told me was Will is very meticulous and very conscious of how he is perceived and what he puts out for people to see. And Jada is the complete opposite. She's honest, transparent, put it all out, let it stick, throw it against the wall, and you guys figure it out later.
And I think that's where I think they have. Remember we was talking about, I don't know if we talked about it we talked about it on live. Mm-hmm. If they have agreed upon what's going to be talked about and what's not going to be talked about, I think they have. And I think that it has because of the fact that they didn't talk about the August Alsina situation.
August was the wild card.
Exactly. So the whole their break and her dating and him dating, that's something that obviously was off the table because you talked about everything else.
See, but and that goes back to my point. When they went on that Red Table Talk, Will was on there and they were basically lying to protect Jada because he knew that it was going to make Jada look bad. Jada knew it was going to make her look bad. And then again, the wild card was August opening his mouth and telling people what actually happened. And for those that are listening, I know people are like, August is going to write a book. For what I read, August said he's not writing a book. He did drop that song, which was trash.
As fuck. Bless his heart, because I know he got medical issues.
He got a lot of stuff going on. Because I did not like the song at all.
So I mean,
and I do not. And again, I am all for people. If you went through it and it's your truth, speak to it. But I think that I think he was going to write a book, but I think
it didn't go over well when it got announced.
No, there was a lot of interest in it, but I think somebody advised him that it would not look good on his part to do that. And I think he thought better of it, and I think he changed his mind. I think he was planning on doing it. But I do think there is going to be a book that comes out. Mm-hmm. Because people, when they start getting a little desperate and money start running out,
come on now,
it starts changing little things. So you're saying you believe that it's over for Will and Jada?
Yep.
I'm going to go out on a limb because this is a podcast. We are going to predict. I will want to say.
Hold on, wait. I want to see what you say.
No. She said she wants to wait.
Oh, you want to wait?
No.
What do you think?
I predict that there probably is going to be a Red Table Talk about this, and I predict that they stay together because this is the relationship that they wanted. This is the relationship that they curated. I think this is. Mm-hmm.
This ain't the
this
relationship
partnership and this elevated. We're past all that bullshit. Yeah. That just seems like
this is not.
We're life partners. That's what they said. We're life partners, and I think it's past marriage for them. It's partly business, and
I believe the marriage has been over, and I believe just what Steph said. I don't think that they're married in the traditional sense. I think they're gonna work together. They're gonna raise the kids. I mean, the kids already raised. They're gonna work together so that way
they ain't gotta do it for the kids
money
anymore.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they're. But
they've been not having little kids.
So they
could have been ended their marriage if they wanted to. So to me, it seems like
but this shit ain't been like this. Ain't been like this.
In a traditional marriage, they would have been broken up.
There you go.
But in a non-traditional marriage where you already have the freedom to go see who you want to see, what's the reason for breaking up?
They got an empire. And it's
going to ruin Will's brand, and it's going to ruin Jada's brand for sure.
I don't see them leaving each other.
They are going to protect. They're going to protect their own respective brands at all costs, even if it means not being married, but looking like they're on a united front. Mm-hmm. But I agree with you. I think it's been over.
Well, obviously I feel like they've dropped so many hints and clues of that it ain't what it is at this point that I don't know why we're still trying to hold them to these traditional marriage standards, because I'm like, they've shown time and time again.
Yeah. But I will say this. We need to keep a very close eye. And when I say we, I mean society, but more importantly, the people close to Will. People need to be checking on Will.
Yeah.
And don't nobody care about Will. I don't want to hear that.
Well,
because the same people that was saying that is the same people that people talk about the post has got to him and all of that. Y'all still posting about this man.
So look, but we saying it here on this podcast because we talk about mental health amongst black men. I am very concerned about his state of being and his mental health. I don't know. I know that he has gone to therapy in the past, and he's done like the psychedelic stuff, and he's did the 7 wonders of the world and done all this other stuff. To me, and the way he packaged it was like, I'm a brand new person. I'm trying to. It could be taken as you're lost and that you're really trying to like center yourself in who you are. You know what I mean? So, and then all of this stuff is coming up. And so I pray August does not release that book. Because if he does, that's just going to just throw a whole nother, because supposedly from what they were saying was the book was going to be about the sex life a tell-all about the sex life between him and Jada, that he was living in homes that Will Smith owned while Will Smith was around acting. So I can already know how the internet's going to twist that. He was fucking your bitch in your bed. He was da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, it's July. It's finna be August. Like, I can already know that's how the internet goes. So, and for him to have such a big social media presence, Will is not going to be able to escape that. And I just, again, praying for his mental health. We all joke. That's how black people do. That's how we do it. But obviously,
and then we turn around and be like, "Oh Lord, I can't believe this done happened."
Obviously, it's not a joke to Will anymore. Not anymore. And I know, and I think some of the things that's also getting lost of this is need to check on Chris Rock. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize all the stuff that Chris Rock was going through, or all the stuff that he had as far as, obviously going to therapy. And somebody was telling me, I guess as a child, that he was bullied and all this craziness. And I'm just like, did not know that.
I mean, you could kind of assume that he got bullied growing up as a kid.
Nope.
Yep.
I can't assume anything.
Chris Rock grew up as an ugly little nigga and shit. You had to be funny. So
yeah,
he became a comedian.
Yeah, that's
true. You gotta have a personality when you ugly.
That's true.
You got on stage, ugly motherfucker. Got bullied. So ended up being funny. So of course he got bullied. Makes sense.
Fuck your life. Bing bang.
All right. Things should be very interesting. So we all expect there will be a red table talk.
Oh, 100%.
Do you think Will will be at the table?
I don't think.
Yeah.
I think he should be, but I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think he will.
He's going to be on the table.
I think he's going to kind of stay out the limelight for a while.
Oh, it depends on how soon they do the red table talk.
I want to see Will do his own content. I would like to see him do a round table talk with just men.
I would too.
Or
with him and Chris Rock,
or even with Chris Rock. I would be more interested in seeing that, because did he officially apologize to Chris Rock?
They actually he came and apologized to him there.
Did he?
They squashed it before the whole ceremony was even.
No, they didn't. They said that wasn't true. But when he did his,
I thought there was a picture of them talking.
No, I don't think
when
they
he did his statement after. That's when he apologized.
He apologized via statement.
Yeah, via the statement.
Publicly. Okay. Hopefully he apologized in private as well.
I thought there was. I could have sworn there was a picture of them two actually talking there.
I don't think so.
Chris Rock left right after.
Yeah.
When he went off the stage, they said.
Because I remember people were like, he didn't even apologize to Chris Rock yet. Because I think he made the Oscar apology before he made the Chris Rock apology.
No, he went on stage and he apologized on stage. And then afterwards, after there was all the backlash, that's when he put out the official apology, which also included Chris Rock.
Yeah. And see, and I didn't even like that because he kind of brought in Richard Williams into it and said, "Oh, I'm just doing what he would have done, and that's protect my family." And then right after that, Richard said, "No." He said, "I don't condone violence, and I wouldn't have done that." Mm-hmm. I was like, damn. Well, this was a good episode. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate y'all for listening, everybody listening. Black Table Talk Part 2, Episode 45.
Ooh.
What?
No, I'm kind of connecting some shit, because when you are an actor, sometimes the role that you takes over.
No.
That's what
he was trying to say.
No, I don't give a shit. Listen.
That's what he was trying to say.
Fuck off. Listen. Listen. Listen.
Hold on.
Listen. Denzel had the same issue when he was doing Flight. He had the same issue. His wife hated him after he did the movie because of how much he got into the role of an alcoholic. He ended up being very similar to him.
But
She
Richard
did not
Williams
like
already
him.
said
I don't.
that ain't me, nigga.
I don't.
He already
Regardless,
He
but
said, nigga, you might have still been in character, but it was the wrong character because it wasn't me.
But regardless, if he was still in character, if he associated that behavior with him, he was still in character.
I got you.
Right?
I think it's
Which
called
it
shadow
was.
work. Isn't it called shadow work?
But that is how Will acts, because remember when he said he was hella in love with that old white lady who was in that movie with?
I
Because
thought
he's a method actor.
But I thought he said after that he had to stop doing it.
I don't know if he stopped or not, but I know that's what he has done in the past, because
Okay.
he was definitely in love. I forgot what her name was.
Like that's
It was some
that's
white
what
woman,
happens.
or- I
That's
forgot what her name
shit,
was.
that's what
And I was
happened.
like,
What's
what?
his name? That's what happened with Ledger.
Yeah.
He got in too deep with that shit, and it just kind of just fucked with him.
I think I remember Will Smith saying that after he did that he had to stop doing that kind of acting because he got too deep into the character. But hey,
Sometimes it ain't easy.
you may be right. That's what we do on this podcast. So if it comes out, that's what it is. What it is. But he did. But I think Steph is right, because Richard said, "Nah, nigga.
Nah, nigga, don't try to put that on me. He came out immediately and was like,
Nah,
I don't give a damn what
Nah.
character you was in.
Nah, that's not me, dog." All right, man. So we about to be out. Y'all like, subscribe, share the podcast, help support us so we can get more content out here. And we love y'all, and we out.
Peace.